Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is another installment of I Have a Question. I'm gonna give it a second for some more people to join me. This has been a very interesting Monday morning. It is the last day of school. Summer camp begins tomorrow, and I just can't wait to get the summer shenanigans started. If you are a parent, what are you doing with the kiddos for the summer? Are you sending them to day camp? Are you sending them to, what do y'all call it over here, stay away camp? Or are they going to be in the house driving y'all crazy? I say send them to day camp. You have some great day camps out here where the kids, well, depending on their ages, they get to go on trips. So get them out the house. What are y'all up to on this Monday morning? Well, is it still morning? Yeah, it's still morning. My lunch break was pretty early today. So normally I'm on my lunch break at around 12:30 thereabout. So I'm used to saying good afternoon. But it's still morning. It's 11:38 here in South Florida. And I'm just sitting in my car because I didn't want to walk anywhere. I don't like to drive over to the Publix across the road from my job because I hate the parking lot there. So usually what I do is I walk across the road, but it's too hot for that. And I still don't want to drive over there, but I don't want to walk either. So after I hop off this live, I'm about to um, go to the gas station, get something to drink, and there's pizza. So I might get some pizza when I go back inside. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the episode. I didn't really watch it. I checked out the clips and I checked out some of the conversations surrounding the episode. So I think I have a pretty good idea of what went down. Tell me, y'all, is my AC too loud? Because the last time I was in the car on live with y'all, my phone shut down because it was too hot and my AC was running. So let me know if y'all are hearing my AC. And for anybody who's gonna catch this replay, the intro is long because I was waiting for some more people to join me for this live. Okay, so please don't complain about how how long this intro is. Remember, y'all, to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so yet, and follow me at How I See It on Instagram, Twitter now called X, and on TikTok. I'm trying to put out content on TikTok. I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't want it to be like all Love and Marriage Huntsville or reality TV related. Like, I want to show y'all more of my culture. I want to show myself cooking some of my favorite Jamaican meals, or if not Jamaican meals, like maybe showcasing like some of my favorite Jamaican snacks and stuff like that, that maybe y'all probably would want to try, and try my best to describe the taste. Probably some of my favorite Jamaican fruits if I can get my hands on it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my TikTok, but still follow me over there. But anyways, let's get into my questions for this live, right? And I asked this question over on Twitter. Are y'all ready to admit, and y'all meaning non-millimeters, non-fans of Melody, people who seem to believe that Melody is quote unquote passive aggressive, people who believe that Melody throws rocks and hides her hands. This question is for y'all. Are y'all ready to admit that Tisha Letitia Scott has always been the problem and has always been the passive aggressive one on that show. Are y'all ready to admit that Letitia Scott is really the one on that cast who throws rocks and hides her hands? And this was evident in in Saturday's episode when she started with, well, let's talk about in the Sprinter van at first. When she pulled up the invitation that Stormy sent them, I guess, for the Lovers and Friends gala or gala, however y'all want to pronounce it. And I could get into like the the phonics and of it all, but I'm not gonna do that. But anyways, however y'all want to pronounce it. And to me, I can give this to Letitia, that she's right in, if her and Stormy, they haven't had a conversation since the reunion, then yeah, it's kind of weird that Stormy would extend an invitation to such a party. But then when we get to the event, and first thing Tisha does is accost Mel, because that's what it seemed like, putting her hands on Melody, trying to take Melody's shades off. Like, that was so tacky. It was so tacky, Tisha. Like, come on, who does that? So she was trying to take Mel's shade off. I don't know, do y'all feel like Letitia was drunk? I don't feel like she was drunk, honestly. I feel like she was acting. She was putting on a show. I feel like next episode, she's going to say, I was tipsy, I was having fun, yada yada. But I don't feel like she was tipsy. I don't feel like she was drunk. I feel like the behavior she displayed is how she is naturally, in my opinion. But on a regular day, especially when she's around her husband, she can't showcase that side of herself. She always has to come across as being this perfect person in Marsaw's eyes. So I feel like being in a club, drinking and whatnot, gave her a little bit of freedom where she could show the real Letitia. So the first thing she says to Mel is, you wanted to talk to Marsaw, and Mel had to let her know, like, hold your horses. This is not the right time. This is not the right place for that. I will talk to Marsaw at another place and another time, right? And then she goes at Nell. Now, you're at this woman's birthday party, right? You're at her birthday party, and you're trying to come at her about her saying that she's y'all's mentor. Like, that's weird to me. That was weird behavior. And I guess what Tisha said in the Sprinter van was that people online were asking Nell Fletcher why she was hanging around Tisha, because Tisha is the op. And Nell Fletcher, instead of saying, well, I'm hanging out with Tisha because we're cool, Nell said, I'm her mentor. And Tisha had some issues with that. And she could be right about that or not. I don't really care. But if you had a problem with that, why wait until filming began to bring it up? You could have texted Nell or slid into her DM and said, hey, why are you trying to make it seem like we're not cool? Why are you saying that you are, or a mentor, like, are you being funny or whatever? But to do that at that lady's party, it was not okay. And for me, Tisha always wants to have an issue with someone, right? And then the minute the person says, okay, bet, and claps back, then Tisha forgets how things started, right? Hi, Miss B, that's me. How are you? that's how Tisha presents herself. And this is why I feel like Letitia is really the passive aggressive one, not Melody. This is why I feel like Letitia is the one that throws rocks and hides her hands. She also does this thing, y'all, in my opinion, where she takes something that someone says and then she runs it back to Kimmi, or she runs it back to her mom, or she runs it back to Kiki when her and Kiki were cool, and she tries to make what the other person said or did more than what it was, to get her mom riled up, or to get Kimmi riled up, or to get Kiki riled up. And then they're coming at the other person, and usually it's Melody, and once upon a time, it used to be Kimmi as well. She gets her family members riled up, and now they're coming at Melody, they're coming at Kimmi. And then when they clap back, it's like, oh, you disrespected my mother. Or Melody has a dark soul. But it's never the response that I am getting from these people is because I went behind their backs and put 20 on 5, not even 10, because sometimes the issues are like so small, so minuscule, really, right? I went and I put 20 on 5 to my mom about Melody, and now my mom is going at Melody, and now when Melody is clapping back, Melody's at fault. Now when Melody's clapping back, as much as Wanda is like really just a thirsty individual, like I can't stand her, but a lot of the time Wanda, in my opinion, she is like a wound up doll, right? And Tisha is winding her up to come at Melody. And then what we're seeing is Wanda's reaction to the things that Letitia is telling her mom. Now, Wanda can exercise some level of maturity to say, listen, you are a 40-something-year-old woman, Letitia. Go handle your business. I could be Melody's mom. I'm not about to address Melody in some beef that y'all have. You're grown. You can handle that. Wanda can absolutely say that, but Wanda wants to be in the mix so badly that even if the things that Tisha is saying to her are not making sense, like when Tisha went and told her mom that, oh, Melody laughed when I told her about my aunt dying, like any reasonable, mature person would say, well, she laughed when you told her that your aunt passed. Like, that doesn't make any sense. A reasonable person would say that, but Wanda isn't a reasonable person, so she accepted the information that Letitia presented to her and used that as a reason to, till this day, to come at Melody. And if y'all don't believe me, go check back at some of those lives that Wanda used to do way back when. And when she's asked about why she doesn't like Melody, she says her first problem she had with Melody was that Letitia told her, when Letitia and Melody had that sit down in that cafe, where Melody told Tisha, go roll up at the bar at 4 a.m. and see what your husband is up to. Wanda said her issue with Melody is that when, I don't know if it was her sister or her grandma or whoever died, or her mom died. I don't remember who died. Was it Wanda's sister or something? But anyway, somebody died, and when Letitia said to Melody that she wasn't a good friend because she didn't reach out when that person in her family died, Letitia said Melody laughed, which was not true. And that got Wanda going ever since, right? We can go back to when Melody and Tisha were rebuilding their friendship during season 1. And Melody was trying to help Letitia to get out of the house and focus more on not just being a stay-at-home wife and mom, but also understanding that she can balance being a mom, a wife, and a businesswoman. And Melody said, girl, let me give you the blueprint. And what did Tisha do? She ran that back to Kimmi, got Kimmi all wound up, brought misinformation back to Kimmi to make it seem like Melody was trying to create Tisha in her own image, to make it seem like Melody was trying to say, oh, I have the perfect marriage, and I'm out here being a boss and a mom. And that's not what Melody was talking about. Melody was talking about the work and mom life balance that Tisha was asking about. Melody wasn't telling Tisha anything about marriage or how to be a wife. She was encouraging Tisha. But when Tisha went and brought that information back to Kimmi, she had Kimmi feeling some type of way, because how dare Melody try to talk to you about being a wife when her husband is out here, well, her husband at the time is out here cheating. And Tisha never cleared it up. She never said, wait, Kimmi, that's not what she was talking about. She had Kimmi going and going and going to the point where when they went to that spa treatment thing at Melody's house in season 1, Kimmi was on 100, calling Melody bougie, saying that Melody elevated herself above them, and all these things, all because Tisha brought back misinformation. That's manipulation, right? That's problematic behavior. That's passive aggressive behavior. And that's throwing rocks and hiding your hands. Because when she goes and she tells her mom, oh, Melody laughed when I told her about my aunt dying. When you go and you tell Kimmi, oh, Melody is trying to show me the blueprint, and Kimmy's like upset now because how dare Melody talk to you about being a wife when her husband's cheating and you don't correct it. All of that is throwing rocks and then hiding your hands like, oop, I didn't do anything. All these people are coming at you because they want to come at you, not because I went over there and told them something. And then Melody becomes the problem when she claps back. When Melody claps back, she's the problem and not Tisha, because a lot of people are not following chronological order of things. Hello, D. Herford, how are you? Let me read your comment. Wanda, Tisha, Kimmi, Stormy, Betty, and anyone that doesn't like Mel really need to try to stop making up excuses. If you like her, just own it. Or if you don't like her, just own that as well. Hi, Journeyology to the Root. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon yet? We're like 5 minutes. Well, on my side of the country. I don't know where you are, so maybe it is afternoon where you are. But yeah, a lot of them, and let me say this, I'm gonna say it again. When Kimmi had an issue with Melody, in my opinion, it was because of the things that Tisha was saying to Kimmi. Wanda's issue with Melody is also because of the things that Letitia was saying to her mom. And again, because Wanda wants to be in the spotlight, she took all of that and ran with it, and now she continues to have an issue with Melody. But yeah, Letitia to me is very passive aggressive. She's very problematic. She definitely is the cast member who throws rocks and hides her hands. But people who don't like Melody, they're never going to agree. But I throw that question out there. I throw it out there to everybody who say that they don't like Melody, to really go back and watch the show. Really go back and look at the social media shenanigans from season 1. A lot of YouTubers who were doing YouTube at that time, they have the receipts. I was on Twitter at the time. Y'all can go over on my Twitter and see some of the receipts over there of some of the things that Letitia and Marsau were both doing on social media. And then when Melody and also Martell would clap back, then it was, oh, look at what they're doing to us. Look at what they're doing to us. And it's like, wait, you're gaslighted. Because I'm not crazy. I saw that first rock that you threw. And now that they're over here throwing the rocks back, now y'all want to play victims. Right? And it's the same thing Letitia did in the scenes, in the club scene on Saturday night, where she started with Nell Fletcher. She started with Nell Fletcher. And we're going to see Nell Fletcher clap back next week. And Tisha is going to sit around. I promise you this. You're going to watch right before your eyes Letitia pretend like she didn't start with Nell in that club. She's going to pretend that out of nowhere, Nell Fletcher just clapped back at her. In the same way she wants to pretend like Stormy wasn't warranted in saying, listen, your husband can't just be coming up to me on the day of asking me for no $100. Stormy was warranted. I mean, say what y'all want about Stormy. I will give it to her that she stood her ground and she was right when she said, we all had this whole meeting talking about this expo, and y'all never said to me that I needed to pay some $100 to have a booth. Y'all didn't really tell Stormy anything. Y'all didn't tell her measurements, how big her booth can be, what she can do in her little corner, nothing. But on the day off when this woman is setting up, y'all gonna come to her and say, where's your money? And in such a rude way as well. And Stormy doesn't have a right to call that man out his name. But he was being rude to Courtney. And Courtney, in my opinion, is unproblematic. He's not problematic at all. Well, apart from the fact that he said that Melody filing that report against Martell isn't DV, it's a phone charge, and when we're gonna keep addressing that, don't worry, I'm not gonna address it now, but that's problematic behavior. But I love the fact that he was dragging Maurice in that Sprinter van for how he treated Kimmi while she was going through chemo. And I'm like, so Maurice, are you gonna be suing Courtney just like you want to sue bloggers for saying the same thing? Right? Are you gonna sue Courtney for saying that you're not a good person for how you treated your wife while she was going through chemo? But I digress. Let me read. Hi, Alpha MC. How are you? Oh, wait. Let me go up. I was just listening to your other video about Dusty and realized I always say Dusty, and I promise you, I'm not even trying to say Dusty, but every time I need to stop listening to the YouTubers who calling that lady Destiny, because every time I read her name, for some reason I don't see the E, I see a U, and immediately my brain says Destiny. I'ma stop. Destiny. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen that video that I posted this morning, check it out after this live ends. Thank you for watching. Alf MC Journeyology to the Root says, yes, Tisha was jealous of the friendship that was growing between Mel and Kimmi, and she was, because Kimmi has said in several interviews that I've watched of Kimmi, she said that her and Mel, they would bump heads, right? And Kimmi also said that the relationship that she had with Melody, if not for the show, she would be over here and Mel would be over there, because there would be no reason to hash things out. And they've gotten to this point in their friendship where they just know that Kimmi is who Kimmi is and Melody is who Melody is, and they're not taking anything that each other says as like a end all be all to their friendship. Just like, Tisha, she'll, if Mel says one thing that Tisha doesn't like, all of a sudden it's the end of the world. And Kimmy's like, I just take it for what it is. I take Mel at face value, and she takes me at face value. And we agree to disagree, and we keep it pushing. And I can respect that. I can respect that. But Tisha can't respect it because Tisha likes to own, in my opinion, Tisha likes to own her friendships. Like, or she likes to own the people she's in platonic relationships with. So she wants to own Kimmi. She wants to own Kiki, right? I feel like she wanted to own Stormy as well. But Stormy is too headstrong for that. She also wanted to own Mel. She's clingy and she's needy, and if you can't give her, I don't know how to describe it. If you can't cling to her as much as she wants to cling to you, then all of a sudden you are her enemy, if that makes sense. I don't know if like I'm psychoanalyzing her properly, but that's what it gives to me. Tisha is and will always be jealous of Melody. Tisha was poking the bear with every woman present excepting for Trisha. Well, you know what? Let's wait and see until next week if she's not gonna be poking at at Trisha as well. Letitia's going to have Wanda come after now. Yeah, I feel like she is going to go, or I feel like her mom is going to call her up after next week's episode, and her mom's going to be like, what exactly happened in that scene? And Tisha is going to put 20 on 5 and make it seem like Nell Fletcher came at her first, and that is why what's going to happen next week is going to happen. Courtney has an issue with Maurice and how he treated Kimmi, but he likes Martell. Right, I didn't get that. He said that who were the two men that he said he liked? Was it Martell and Tisha's guy? He said he likes. He doesn't have an issue with Martell and RP tape as well as the AB use of the kid. Yeah, I don't know how. You know what? See, Courtney, now you have me having to like take it back. I guess what I can say is when it comes to his marriage and how he protects his wife, he's not one of the problematic husbands on that show. That I will give him. Your question. Oh, Alf MC saying to Journeyology to the Root, your question is exactly what run through my head the minute Courtney said it. He gained points, and then those points. Right, I just had to take my points back to Alf because I was like, you know what? I like the fact of how Courtney was kind of holding Maurice to the feet to the fire, and he was standing on he don't like Marsaw either. But then I have to say, but how you gonna say you like Martell? Like, how you gonna say you like that man? So yeah, some points have been definitely taken from him. Hello, Miss Anne, how are you? Tisha has yet to apologize for how she spoke to Miss Van on Carlos King's nightcap show. Yes, she always wants Mel to apologize for. Oh, what did she say to Miss Van on Carlos King's nightcap? I probably missed that episode. Like, I'm one of those people, y'all, who if I don't really see it for somebody, I don't really tune into anything that they have going on. Even as a content creator, like, I will never really watch any of Wanda's live. I just can't. I can't listen to that lady speak. I don't really go over to Stormy's, TikTok when she's doing lives or anything. What else? Some of these YouTubers who are just doing the most sometimes, I don't watch their stuff. I don't subscribe to it. And if the algorithm says check out this person or check out this video, I click not interested real fast. Like, if I'm subscribed to you on YouTube and you post something about Wanda or coleslaw or Stormy or Tisha or anybody on that cast that I don't really see it for. And the first thing I'm gonna do is hit not interested. I don't care if you are one of my favorite YouTubers out there. Like, I'm just not interested. So I don't know. I probably tuned out when Tisha was on. I know I watched 2 of the nightcap episode, and it was the one with Melody and Monique Samuels. As much as I don't see it for Monique Samuels, I watched because it was her and Melody, and I felt like Melody should have had her own nightcap episode, but I digress. And I think I watched the one with no, I saw clips of the one with Heavenly and Martha. So yeah, literally I only watched one nightcap episode, so I did not see that one with Tisha. But if you want to tell me what she said, we can talk about